Hey, what is up everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation homebrew news and much more. Well, there is a ton of new updates, so let's just go ahead and jump straight into the first one. So we saw over here on X from Gezine, he stated that I guess Sony patched Y2JB at 12.60. Now, this is obviously for a PlayStation 5 running 12.60. At this point, it has been 100% confirmed that you no longer can just run the YouTube application without the proper license now on a PS5 12.60. Now, also in this message, he stated that Netflix is also patched. And it says they blocked all media apps license and it now requires a PSN in order to get the license. Now, in my mind, there is absolutely nothing abnormal about this. Obviously, Sony wants to protect their platform, so I was kind of expecting this. But I've also been expecting MasterCore to be patched, but for some reason that one really isn't. Maybe it really is because of the complexities of setting it up or having the right disk versus just being able to run an application on a PlayStation 5. So anyways, if you do have a PlayStation 5, make sure that you stay at 12.40 until we learn more. Next up, over on Discord, I saw this very interesting message that came from Flatz, and what he stated was, I finally started looking into the PS5 packages today. The ending goal is to create fake packages, but it will take a lot of time due to lack of spare time. He also says that they even obfuscate command parsing using hashes instead of command argument strings. So annoying. So wish me luck, and well, the community is starting to give them some luck. Now, I will say it's very exciting for the scene to be able to have these fake packages, but we really are already getting to a sweet spot because I saw that there has been quite a bit of advancements to how we're currently running our game backup. So over here on X again, Dr.Yenyen said a Mountable USF2 that earthonion titled FFPKG or fake package, it allows the game dump folder to be kept as one file and mounted to run. Now, obviously right now we have our game files that can have thousands of files and folders, especially when you look at Astrobot. And so with this implementation, it would only just be one gigantic file. Now, there is a video here, and at this point you can see that it found Minecraft, and now it synchronized the library. It added it to the home screen here, and now the game is being ran, as you can see with the ETA hen stat information up at the top, and there is the game running. And if we take a look at the logs that was provided, you can see that Shadow Mount version 1.4 started, and it mounted an image called Minecraft.ffpkg. And so right after that, you can tell that it mounted it as a drive and then went ahead and got it installed and added to the main menu. So anyways, there is a lot of great things that I believe is coming for PlayStation 5 users, especially those looking to take advantage of some backups. Now, before I leave this, you can go ahead and get started playing with this. There is a URL down here in the bottom if you want to go ahead and start trying this today. So I know that there has been a whole lot of talk about getting a PlayStation 4 on 13.00 jailbroken with View, and as we can see from this message that came out at the very end of January, which shows Apollo Save Tool and a bunch of other applications running on a PS4 13.00, it's led to a lot of people asking ETA when. And the answer to that question is that it's going to come out in February sometime. So if you do have a PlayStation 4 on 13.00, just hold still and you will be able to jailbreak your console within the end of this month. Next up, I noticed over here from EchoStretch that there was a new Kstuff Lite. Now, it appears to be almost a soft release, meaning that there wasn't a whole pile of release notes, and I didn't really see this flooding X or anything like that. But if we go over to the releases here, we can see just a couple of days ago that Kstuff Lite 1.00 came out, and it does support firmwares 3.00 all the way up to 10.01. And now Echo stated here that this started as me trying to figure out 2.50, then I ended up deleting stuff and moving offsets around. I also needed to test on a test kit, so I added support for that too. So you can see here in the changelog, added support for test kit, dev kit, and then removed old code not needed and moved offsets to a new location. Now, I will say for the end user, I would wait on this before using this or even thinking of this as a replacement for the Kstuff 1.6.7 that is currently out right now. But if you do have a test kit or a dev kit, then there you go. You can now run Kstuff on it with this kstuff.elf that has been released by EchoStretch. Now, if you watched my videos from last week, you probably heard me talking about this np-fake-signin. So this is a ELF payload for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 that fakes the PlayStation Network sign-in in the foreground user by writing these NP files and patching registry and then shell core state. Now, with this, we were able to do some really cool things, such as being able to export our saves on PlayStation 5 for PlayStation 4 games. We were also able to get remote play working with this. And so now it is obviously very nice because we have an official repo for this, and we have a release that has a couple of different fixes that if you use the first version weren't present. So one of those was detecting the language of the system instead of defaulting to Korean. And then there was a previous release which fixed some of the duplication that was happening with the usernames and account IDs being written to the registry. So anyways, if you do have a PlayStation 5, I would absolutely recommend checking this out. I believe that's where you're going to find a lot more of the benefit at this moment. But again, these files are available if you want to go and check them out. Next up, I've been hearing a bit about this Trophy Unlocker, and as you can see here, it looks like you can unlock every single trophy in a game. Now, this is one of those kind of weird ones that I don't really like to cheat in my trophies, but if you do like to cheat in your trophies, there is a work in progress repo that came out. And if we scroll down into this, it says work in progress for a PS5 Trophy Unlocker. And then it says goal, while in game, send the payload with the user and the trophy ID to unlock it. So there's a couple of different improvements in here, such as using this service to get rid of the user ID requirement, and then showing a bit more information about the trophy to be unlocked. So anyways, if you do want to check this out, it might be pretty fun to play with. And I'll also say there's quite a bit of other really useful tools that he has been working on. There's another one over here, which is PS5 PKG Reader, where it does things like read PS5 PKG files and can extract some of the content. Anyways, the PS multi-tool is also a great little project while you're in here. It's kind of got a backup manager and more. So anyways, go ahead and check out this developer as they're doing some pretty cool stuff. Next up, let's go over to a brand new repo that popped up just a couple of days ago. And this one is called VR2JB. And what this is the PlayStation 5 VR2 Jailbreak. And it says that this is a PlayStation VR2 Jailbreak utility. Currently only offers recovery mode capabilities. So if we scroll down here into the README, we can see that our hope is that by providing this exploit publicly, we can get more people interested in trying to jailbreak the PSVR2. Although this isn't a full PSVR2 jailbreak yet, we hope this pushes things into the right direction. And then of course they state in here that they're not responsible to your PSVR2 if it does damage. Now, I will say that the biggest use of this right now is going to be able to jump to a different firmware version for the PSVR2. So go ahead and make a note of this link, or maybe go ahead and download all of these files, because especially for jailbroken users, you're probably going to want to land on this firmware version 6.00. Now this one will work with a 7.61 machine, but after you download this and then coming back and using this tool, you would be able to downgrade back to a lower version than what your PSVR2 is already on. And the last thing that I'm going to send you out with here today is that there is another great little site that I've seen that popped up. And really what this is all of the different payloads. So if you are already jailbroken, for example, and you went to this site, you know, if you wanted to run that np-fake-signin .bin file, well, you could do it here. Or if you were on a PlayStation 4, maybe you want to load in the latest gold hen for whatever reason. And then it just contains a couple of other great payloads, and especially you like things like the new high-speed FTP server .bin file for the PlayStation 5. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out!